What is up, guys? I am Joseph, this is Joseph's Place, and welcome to the first episode of this Barbarian Assault video series. There's going to be 6 episodes in total, counting this one, and I'm going to go through this minigame and explain every part of it that you'll need to know in order to complete it. Now, I'm not going to go super in-depth and do all the very nitty-gritty things that you'll need for speedrunning. This is just going to be a comprehensive guide to get you started, to teach you everything you'll need to know in order to do this minigame to get a fighter torso or any other of the rewards that are available. So as you can see on screen, there are a few different options. If you don't really have any understanding of the game, keep watching this video, but if you do and you're just looking for something specific, you can go view the video for the Penance Queen or any of the roles Attacker, Defender, Healer, or Collector by clicking the links on the bottom of the screen. So if you made it to this part of the video, I'm going to assume that you don't have a comprehensive understanding of the minigame, so this part of the video is going to be just an overview of the minigame itself. So to start off, this is a safe minigame, and there are no requirements to actually do this minigame. It is suggested that you have some combat stats, as there are enemies that can hit you, and having a high hit points and defense level is helpful, but it's not required. Now, the ways you can get here there are a few different ways. However, the easiest way is using the game's necklace and then teleporting to Barbarian Outpost. Now, there is a minigame teleport for this minigame, Barbarian Assault. However, you do have to complete the in-game tutorial in order to use this teleport, so you're going to have to get there one way or the other, and the easiest way is using a game's necklace. So once you arrive at Barbarian Assault, you need to go inside and talk to Captain Kane, and he's going to take you through some in-game tutorials that you can watch. However, if you're watching this series, you don't really need to. I'll go over everything you need to know. So you can just speed through those, and then once you finish all of the guides that he requires you to watch, you can go down the ladder into the actual minigame. Now, before you go down the ladder, you do have to remove your cape, as you're not allowed to take it into the minigame. And it is advised that you don't bring anything in your inventory unless you're doing the attacker role, which I'll get into in that specific video, but for the most part, you want a relatively empty inventory. So once you go downstairs, you'll notice a bunch of rooms with numbers on the minimap. So these are the different waves that you have to go through in order to complete a full run. Now you have to start at wave 1 and then progress through 10 in order. If you get abandoned halfway through, you do have to restart at 1. So if you're going through with a team and one person leaves at wave 5, you have to reset at wave 1. However, just a little tip that if you want to reset your waves, you can actually right click on the gate for wave 1 and there's a reset option there. Makes it really quick instead of having to go upstairs and talk to the guy to reset your wave. So once you arrive at wave 1, you need to find a team. Now, the easiest way to do this for your first time is just to pick a role and advertise yourself to the other people who are making teams. Now, there is 5 people per team, and the basic setup or a general setup is one of every role except for 2 attackers to start off, and then usually it switches over to 2 healers towards wave 8 or 9 depending on how good your team is. So just pick a role, again, by either watching the videos down below or if you already know what you want to do, just start advertising yourself. And once you get selected to be in a team, your team leader will start the wave. Now, these waves get progressively harder. However, you get more points for the higher level waves. And these points are based off of very specific things. And I'll leave a link to the table down below so you can see exactly what you get points for. But a general rule of thumb is you get points for doing your job. For example, as an attacker, you get points for killing the enemy, and you lose points for using the incorrect attack styles. And if that kind of makes you nervous, you're in luck because I'm going to explain what that means. Now, this minigame is comprised of basically roles and instructions for those roles. So when you first enter the wave, you'll notice a few things are a little bit different. First, you have a horn in your inventory that wasn't there before. Now, this horn is used to call the instructions for your counterpart. Now, your counterpart is another person on your team. For example, if you're an attacker, you are calling the roles or the instructions for the collector. And if you're a collector, you call the instructions for the attacker. Same goes with the healer and the defender. Now, the way you know what to call is by looking on the upper right-hand corner of your screen. There are a few lines of text, the wave number, what your instructions are, what you need to call, and who you are calling for. So for an example, if this is white, this line of text is white, that means that you have to call that specific instruction using the horn in your inventory by right-clicking on it and choosing that option. Now, once you call the role, the other person's interface will update and will show the correct instructions for them. So you don't have to go over next to them and call it. No matter where you are, it will update for them. Now, these instructions alternate every 30 to 60 seconds, and they change for everyone at the same time. So you need to pay attention to make sure that you are actively calling the instructions for your counterpart, or else they're not going to be able to do what they need to do, and they may fall behind, costing your entire team points. So you need to make sure you are calling the correct roles in a timely way so they are able to do their role. And you also need to make sure that you're doing the proper thing. You can notice here there's a set of instructions that you specifically need to do, and you need to follow these in order to not lose points. Again, I'll use attacker as an example. You have to make sure you use the correct attack style in order to not only do damage, but not to lose points. And we'll get into more specifics in the individual videos, but for the most part, just understand that you need to do your job and you need to use the horn in your inventory to call the instructions for the rest of your team so they can do their job too. So once you complete a wave and you defeat all the enemies in that wave, you will get a certain amount of points, again, based on how well you did. Now, these points do progressively get higher throughout the waves, and they allow you to purchase things from the minigame from a rewards shop. Now, a very common thing to buy is the fighter torso, which is a very common PVM torso equipment, which is actually very nice to use as it gives strength equipment. But there are other rewards, and I'm not going to get into each one specifically as that's a little out of the scope of this guide. But one main thing that I want to hit is the fact that you can level up each role. When you get a certain amount of points in your role, you can level up, which gives you extra benefits for that role while you play the minigame, so it makes it easier. And I'll go through the specific ones in the individual videos, but one example is for a healer. At level 1, you only heal 10 points, where at level 5, which is the maximum level, you heal 35. So it really helps you to complete waves faster and easier, and if you enjoy the minigame, it makes your experience that much better. So that's kind of a general overview of, again, the rewards and how to play the minigame in general as an overview. But if you want to see specifics, be sure to click on the links down below on the bottom of the video to see specific roles, and for the queen, as the queen has very different mechanics on how that fight is handled. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it helped you, and I hope you guys will enjoy the minigame and enjoy the rest of the series. And if there's anything you need to know, leave it in the comments below. I'll do my best to help you. If there's any kind of videos like this you want to see, be sure to let me know, as I do want to come out with more of these kind of guides here in the near future. So if it's something that interests you, be sure to let me know, and I'll do my best to get those out to you. So again, I am Joseph. This was Joseph's Place. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.